This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Shrug? I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say a lot about today. It sure seems like the Mariners punted this game. You may be wondering where Chris Crawford is. He was actually at the game, so I'm going to ask him about that when we go live on Friday talking about that one against the Cubs. But let's talk about this one first. This is Anderson Hurst here, going solo today, just to talk to you guys about a Game 3 loss against the Boston Red Sox. Pretty frustrating. The lineup struggles again, but we'll kind of get into that. Like, didn't really seem like they were going to put up any sort of fight with the 9 players you put out there, Dan Wilson, against one of the better left-handers in the game. Luis Castillo was fine, wasn't amazing, had a couple mistakes, but he definitely wasn't perfect. And unfortunately, he needed to be perfect today if the Mariners were going to have any sort of hope at winning, which he was not. So, yeah, I did want to... Normally, we start with the start. I'm going to wait on Luis Castillo for a sec because I want to get straight into a couple things regarding this lineup. I had a couple people reach out to me when the lineup was first posted, being like, what is going on here? And I was doing the Infernest show on Sports Radio KJR, so I wasn't super plugged into everything when it got posted and everything. I kind of just turned on the game when it started, and I saw Dylan Moore was leading off, playing shortstop. That's a weird one to me. That's a really weird one to me. I get you need to get guys days off. I can sort of understand trying to get, Hey, he's in here in the car.
What's going on, folks?
Surprises me. All right. This is your Mariners POSTCAST. Anderson Hurst here. Just Chris is next to me to my left. Did the Mariners punt this game?
It felt like there wasn't an urgency to win this game. And by the way, I just saw that I got the notification on my phone that you went live, and I thought, rather than deal with traffic, I'll pull over and talk to you for just a few minutes. Yeah. This is probably not the best audio quality, and it's probably not the best video quality. Okay, well, I mean, I have dulcet tones, so I always sound great. But I'm glad the quality isn't too bad. There wasn't a great urgency to win this game, and I was disappointed by that because I thought winning this series would have been massive. To be able to, you had that frustrating loss on Monday where you just couldn't get anything done offensively. And then you come back and you play a really strong game, a really, really strong game. And then to come out just so flat today was really disappointing. I'll just give my quick thoughts and then I'll let you go. I thought Luis Castillo pitched well outside of 2 pitches. Unfortunately, the homer's an issue now. This is now, I believe, 7 homers allowed in 3 starts, and that's not good enough. The offense stunk. Julio was awful today. Big Dumper was okay. Let's see, I'm starting to make the drive right now. This is very safe. Am I committing a crime? I better pull over. The offense stunk today. Matt brings out that we won the tiebreaker against Boston. That's kind of nice because they're going to be competing for a wild card spot. That's an interesting one to think about. Anyway, anything to not talk about my sweet Julio stinking today because he was really bad. The bottom of the order was bad.
The whole lineup was bad. Caroline wanted to swing. Even Randy, who got on twice. They called that a double. That was not a double. The guy dropped the ball.
And I will also say that. Boy, I just really don't know how much longer you can deal with the bottom of this order. And the bottom of this order was bad. Now, credit to Garrett Crochet, who was awesome. And it's really hard to get him twice. And they got him in Boston, right? They were very effective against him. But that was a different offense. It was just a different lineup. And it's just really frustrating to see this team look so lethargic. And what's interesting is they've actually been better on day games. They have one of the best day records in all of baseball. So I thought, as long as Castillo can keep him in the game, as long as, he absolutely did.
Yeah.
Absolutely did.
He gave up 3 hits and 2 of them were homers.
And, credit In fact, I would say that the homer he gave up to Meyer wasn't even that bad of a pitch. Kind of golfed out. I admittedly wasn't paying close attention when Story hit the homer, so we'll just say
also a pretty good pitch. It was the sinker that was kind of right on the black. He kind of just pulled it out of there, but it wasn't just those two that were hard contact. He had a lot of hard contact outs as well. It's just kind of what he is now, I think.
Okay, so my overall thought is this was a ridiculous decision. Coming on here when I was supposed to take the day off is absolutely asinine. I may have a problem, and I love you all, but I'm going to go ahead.
It's like a drug. It's like a drug. You need it.
I love you all.
One quick question before you leave.
Please.
You didn't get to JP with a day off. You have a day off tomorrow. I don't like it. He's been hot. Keep him in the lineup. Same thing with Cole Young as well. I get you're going against the lefty, but JP hits lefties really well. I can sort of understand it with Cole Young because he's still kind of making his way in the big leagues, but he's been hot as well recently as well.
Sure.
You have a day off tomorrow. And then even if you are going to do that, don't bat Dylan Moore leadoff. Just don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Dylan Moore has looked really bad at the plate as of late and is becoming more and more obviously the 26th player on the roster. But there's a few guys on this roster who should be the 26th player. As for Crawford, the thought process there is this is a cheat way to get 2 days in a row off, right? This is a way for him to get. I just don't think this lineup's good enough right now. Yeah. However, I will note he did have a couple of scratches with injury. So keeping him fresh, it's similar-ish to the Andres Munoz situation. Is it worth it to keep him healthy to get going? You would have used him as a pinch hitter at least. He got 8 innings off. The thought process is, it's a lefty. JP Crawford's just a better hitter against everyone right now than Dylan Moore. So you cannot really justify it from that.
But I will in the 7th inning. So it was Garrett Whitlock that came in. So he could have pitched in not even just for Dylan Moore or for one of the other bottom of the order guys.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, I'm going to go. I love you all.
Right. No, you're good. Thank you so much, Chris, for stopping by. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. It was such a pleasant surprise having him in there. This is like the 3rd time that he's said that he's not going to do it. And I was like, yeah, totally. I'll ride solo today. I'm excited. And then he just can't stay away from it. He can't stay away from it. We love Chris Crawford. He's the man. I get to lean on him all throughout the season. But now I get to lean on you guys. Comment in who you guys' unsung villain was. The Mariners lost today, so we're going to do unsung villain. Let's start with the start. Luis Castillo, Chris kind of mentioned it there. I'll give my thoughts. I'm a huge Castillo defender. I think he gets too much hate overall. He's been as consistent as you can ask, and he put that out again today. What is it? Let's look at his final line here. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. You'll take that every single time. You just will. It's similar to the Brian Wu start yesterday. Brian Wu was a little bit better, the walks, and he didn't give up a homer like Luis Castillo gave up 2 of them today. But you got to score more than 1 run. And even the 1 run the Mariners scored today was a Randy Arozarena double that Jarren Duran just dropped in left field. I don't know if he lost it in the sun or if he just misread it. Maybe there was a little bit of wind going on. I wasn't there at the ballpark. And then he scores on a wild pitch. That was a fun little moment, though, with Randy Arozarena waltzing home and just basically walking to home plate, picking up the catcher's mask and giving it to him before he steps on home plate. I know some people can get turned off by his antics a little bit, but I just love having a fun baseball player like that, Randy Arozarena. So that's just a little side positive note. He did get on twice today. He gets another walk later in the game, but the rest of the offense was terrible. It was bad. Julio, terrible. Dylan Moore, terrible. Raleigh, besides 1 hit in the first inning, terrible. Let's see. Polanco, no hits, 2 Ks, terrible. Garver had 1 good hard hit ball into the gap there. So, okay, good for him. Solano gets in, does have a hit. He's starting to look a little bit better. But again, the bottom of the lineup just isn't it, man. You have too many players right now that are fine. They're fine if you're like your pinch hitter or the guy that you bring in when you need a pinch runner or something like that. These guys should not be starting baseball games. They should not. You have too many of those players. I don't know, man. This lineup, it seemed very much so like they were punting this baseball game. I would have hoped there's a little bit of urgency with how well Houston's playing right now, with how well JP is playing right now. to keep him in this groove that he's on. And I can understand it more with Cole Young, but even he's been hot lately as well. I get it. The lefty thing is real. Chris talked about it a couple days ago. Hitting lefty is one of the hardest things to do in baseball. I understand that. But JP has proven throughout his entire career, especially recently, that he can do that. He's just a much better hitter versus lefties, versus righties, and in any sort of way than Dylan Moore is. So, I don't really get it. You have a day off tomorrow. It's a way to get him 2 days off. Fine. But maybe if you'd won that first game, and I've seen a couple comments regarding that, and this one seems okay to be like, all right, we already won the series. Let's give some guys some days off. That would be much more understandable, but you didn't. You dropped a frustrating one in game one. You had a good game yesterday, and then we're back on the seesaw again because today was just not very good. With Castillo, the biggest thing for me is, he's still getting a lot of hard contact. I think his line is a little bit flattering, to be honest, just overall throughout the season, but I still like his stuff. The biggest issue to me is he really only has one pitch that's working for him right now on a consistent basis, and that's the fastball up. Anytime that the slider is super inconsistent, sometimes it looks great, and he gets swings and misses. We saw that against Minnesota. The sinker is not as good, and certainly in the command as I would have expected. People are just hitting it too hard, and the changeup is non-existent. If you guys remember, when he came to the Mariners, he was a sinker, changeup, slider guy, and the fastball was kind of secondary. It's complete opposite now. It's the fastball is what he's riding on now, and then he throws in the slider every once in a while. But the sinker changeup combination just isn't there. And I get that's kind of the Mariners pitching development being like, all right, this is what makes our pitching staff good. And it does give him some success on a regular basis. And he's still a consistent starting pitcher for us. But I'm concerned that, even when the hitters know it's coming, it's still hard for them to hit because that fastball is so good, which is great. But you need some secondary stuff. I want to see a little bit more of the slider and definitely more of the changeup, because it's lefties that are killing him right now. So I think I need to see more command. He just has one pitch that kind of gets outs right now, and that's the fastball up. Everything else is just so inconsistent with him. And like I said, I'm as big of a Castillo defender as there is. I still think if there's a playoff series right now, he's one of your three starters. So I'm still in on him. I'm not saying that, he's not one of our best pitchers. It's just I want to see a little bit more development of that part of his arsenal. But let's talk about the offense a little bit. Dylan Moore lead off. You guys know how I feel about this. It's not good. I don't think he should be starting. I get he sort of mashes lefties. I get he sort of has a history of doing that, but he's not a good player right now. I'm pretty sure he has like one hit, and that one hit was today in his last month of baseball. It's pretty crazy. And his K rate is just through the roof. He's just not playing well. He's not playing well right now. Let's talk about Julio. Chris isn't here, so he doesn't get to defend him as much as he loves to. I'm concerned, man. I'm starting to get really concerned with him. I know everyone says that the hot streak's coming. I just don't see it. I don't see it really clicking for him offensively right now. I don't see it. He still ends up getting on base a couple times, once, because he grounds into a fielder's choice, but he's hitting the ball on the ground way too much. And when he does hit it in the air, it's the other way. He's not pulling fly balls at all. I haven't seen him pull a fly ball in a long, long time, and it's concerning. I hope it's just a mechanical thing. I hope he does have that hot streak that everyone thinks is coming, and he has proven to have it in the last couple of years. I just don't see it. I don't see the signs of it happening anytime soon, and boy, do we need it to happen. So, Sushi dude, I'm with you. He's so good in center field, but so inconsistent at the plate. Completely agree. I'm not saying that he's not going to be that guy in his career. The longer this goes on, the more concerned I get. Yes. And I've said it many times on this show. My concern is that he's the player from last year and not the player from the previous 2 years offensively. And it's proving to be the case in terms of the results right now. So, it's just, Nelson, I completely agree with you on this. Julio's had so many different voices tell him different things that he's lost. You need a proven veteran star like a Jose Ramirez to come in and show him how it's done. I don't think I think there's something to that. I also think Chris talked about this before we went live yesterday. When he was just asked to be the leadoff guy in his 2022 rookie season, that's when he was at his best. He wasn't the guy to drive things in. He's kind of the guy to set things up. They just told him, all right, be aggressive, play the way that has gotten you here, right? And we're not going to change your approach. We're not going to tell you to hit the ball the other way. Just go mash the baseball. We don't need you to walk a ton. Just go mash the baseball. And that's what he did in 2022. And I just think because of how successful he was in that, then a bunch of the Mariners fans and coaches are like, all right, now we need to move you down to the lineup so we have your bat later, like at a 3, maybe 4 spot, sometimes in the 2 hole, which is he's in right now. I don't like it. Today would have been a perfect day if you are going to rest JP, bat him in the leadoff hole, bat him in the leadoff spot. As much as I have been bagging on him, he's more than Dylan Moore offensively. So you just have to get him in there. So that's my thought about Julio. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I'm not saying he's not the guy, but I'm concerned about his offensive profile right now, and I hope he can turn it around. Let's say hello to our sponsors, and then we'll get into our unsung villain of the day. Comment in who you guys are right now, and I'll get your thoughts on the unsung villain, because I have a couple of different options, and I have an idea of who I'm going to do, but if you guys convince me otherwise, I might do it. So let's talk about some Monarch Money. If you ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and start building wealth. That's what I love about this. It's not just one of those things that tells you where to cancel your subscriptions, although that is one very valuable part about what Monarch Money does, but it tells you in where else you can put your money. And these are perfect things for me because I am not in the financial landscape. That's just not my thing. And Monarch Money is perfect for kind of just helping a newbie like me figure out what to do with my money. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And when you use Monarch Money, that'll give you some little extra cash to spend on some trade coffee, because boy, am I a coffee guy. Let's be real. Coffee isn't just a drink. It's a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. And if it's that essential, why settle for anything less than amazing? That's where Trade Coffee comes in. Trade is the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, they've got a roast you'll love. I love the local stuff. There's a lot of good ones here from Seattle. Seattle's known for being a coffee kind of powerhouse, so I like sticking local. I'm born and raised, so repping the 206, so to speak. And Trade can send you a lot of different types of coffee from this area. If you're a local guy, maybe you like it from Colombia, maybe you like it from Ethiopia, maybe you're an Italian roast guy or a French roast. Whatever you need, Trade Coffee's got you covered. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customer 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/lockedonmlb. That's trad.com/lockedonmlb for 50% off your 1-month trial. Okay, unsung villain. I'm gonna go really quick here. Let's look for a couple what you guys think. Unsung villain. My oh why. Hey, where did that slightly less handsome guy go? I'm going to go unsung villain to Anders Hurst because he's not Chris Crawford. No, I'm just kidding. Hi, Chris. Welcome back. Thanks for listening on your drive home. Hope you enjoyed the game today, besides the crappy baseball. So my unsung villain's a pretty easy one. It's Dan Wilson. We kind of mentioned this a couple times, but I think the lineup, like, not just not starting JP, not just not starting Cole Young, which there are defensible actions there. But if you're gonna sit those guys for at least the first, 2/3 of the game, you get bottom 7 and you have a righty come in. So you get Garrett Crochet out of the game, who has dominated you all game. And again, this is not one of those situations where an average starter dominates a Mariners lineup. Garrett Crochet is a really, really good pitcher. And the Mariners have at times struggled against really good left-handed pitchers, especially ones that have really good swing and miss stuff. You have Donovan Solano stay in against a right-handed pitcher. Why not go to Rowdy Tellez there? That's a really weird one for me because Garrett Whitlock, again, came in for Garrett Crochet in the 7th inning. Ben Williamson, fine. But then Miles Mastrobuoni, I get he's lefty. But that's just another opportunity to go to a Dom Canzone. And I understand Dom Canzone pinch hits in the 9th inning, but that's just too late at that point. You already have 2 outs. You're down to your last out. It's too little too late for me. And to me, too many signs point to the Mariners kind of just saying, all right, we swept Cleveland. We got a winning homestand here. We already won one of these games and we can drop one of these to Boston. Right. So, and that's just not the mentality I love to see. I get it's only June 18th. I understand that, we're not even at the All-Star break yet. We're not even to July yet. It's for how the division is going right now, the Astros are playing out of their minds. I haven't checked to see who they're playing tonight. But it's just, I want to see more urgency. I want to see more urgency from Dan Wilson and just the Mariners in general. Whether that's starting your guy that's been your best hitter in the past 2+ weeks, that's JP Crawford. Whether that's actually pinch hitting and using him when you do rest him, or even using a couple players that are better suited for certain situations. I get you need to get guys days off, but coming into pinch hit should not screw with any sort of routine that you got in day off. It really shouldn't. Okay. So that's me. I don't know. There's a lot of signs that point to not really having the urgency to go out and win this game, but I want to know what you guys think. Send in your comments. Please like the video. It really helps us a ton with these postcasts. I love hanging out with you guys, but we want to make sure this gets to more people. So share it with your friends. If you have people that love Mariners baseball and are looking for more post-game content, this is your place. We have, postcast with me and Chris, I would say even a good pregame show with the Locked On Mariners podcast with Ty and Colby. They do fantastic work during the week. Check out their work as well. Please share this link, share any sort of, way you can to get it so more people can come check us out. We've had incredibly great feedback and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much again. Mariners have a day off tomorrow. So Thursday off, but then Friday, they open up with 3 against the Cubs in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Make sure you remember all 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, start at 11:20. So be ready for an earlier postcast from me and Chris. So let's check. I got to check the probable pitchers here for that game. I believe we have Emerson Hancock on that day. Double checking. It's George Kirby. Excuse me. George Kirby on Friday. Then we get Emerson Hancock on Saturday. And then I believe that's Logan Gilbert on Sunday. Yes, it is. Okay. So the Cubs, they're a good team. They got some good hitters right now. That ballpark's kind of conducive to a lot of offense. So hopefully the Mariners can figure themselves out on the road once again. But the Mariners end up dropping this one to the Boston Red Sox 3-1 after another no-show from the offense. Really appreciate you guys hanging in and hanging out with me. Chris Crawford, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate you. Have a safe drive home. And all of you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you guys on Friday. But again, remember, Locked On Mariners podcast will come out with an episode tomorrow, so look out for that. See you guys on Friday.